So welcome back to another Thursday on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your Thursday host Yoka, and this week we're talking about organized religion and paganism. So our viewer this week wishes to remain anonymous, and basically they want to know what our take is on pagan religions or paganism becoming more organized. Basically, would there be too much structure, or would there be some sort of benefits? So for me, when I first read the topic, I went, I'm a little hesitant about organized religion in general, because, and not always, but often organized religion is accompanied by things like very strong dogma that doesn't leave a lot of space for individual interpretation or freedom to be as one really is, or to explore what one wants to be outside of that dogma, that very controlled idea of how things are, and truth with a capital T. Often, and again not always, organized religion comes with power structures that I'm not very interested in participating in, that seem to me to be rather unhealthy given my views on what a healthy relationship is. Now, all that being said, there's some great conversation that's been going on for quite a few decades now, and which basically is the discussion of power over versus power with. And I'm very interested in power with systems. There's a lot of pagan groups which really work towards that and have small structures typically that make that kind of system easier. For instance, groups that work on consensus. There are, though, other groups which have a more what we would think of traditional structure, like some of the druid groups that have, archdruids and people with roles and treasurers and things like that we would typically think of as a organized religion or structure. The question for me would be, what's the benefit? What would we be getting out of some form of larger organization that we're not getting now? And that's going to come down to what everybody's needs are, what everybody's wants are. For my life, and this is really the only perspective I can speak to besides imagining what it might be for somebody else, but there isn't really anything that I see that I'm missing that I would need. I don't live in a part of the country or a part of the world where people particularly care what religion you are. We've never had anything said to us or, to our knowledge, been treated any differently for being a pagan household. There's not I can't speak tonight. There's not specific needs that we have that aren't being met that might be different in other sorts of communities or places like the military or things like that. So, I don't really know what the purpose would be. And as we've talked about quite a lot on this channel, there are many, many different interpretations of what it is to be a pagan, what paganism is about. One of the trends which runs through many, but not all of these different groups, is this idea of individual empowerment. This idea of deciding for oneself what is right and what is wrong, if one even believes in concepts like that. And that's something I'm very attracted to, and I'm very attracted to other things that have similar principles in my life, like the ancestral health or permaculture, things like that, that try and find a model, right? This is like ecosystem restoration. You find a model and try and understand it to the best of your ability, and then, work towards that, but tweak to the individual's needs. And I really like that. I would be concerned that most forms of organized religion would not, that wouldn't be the best fit for. Again, possibly, there's different ways that might work, and I would be really curious to see examples of that. The closest thing I can really think of, there's two examples. I can think of The Fifth Sacred Thing, a wonderful, wonderful book, which, exciting, there's a Kickstarter for its sequel right now happening. And the other thing is the Quakers. And I guess the Sufis, kind of, but all of those actually, it's hard to say whether you could really count. I guess the Quakers and the Sufis count as being organized, but I'm not really sure there. Anyways, I would like to know from you guys if you think that there's any particular, if there's things to be gained from organizing, and if so, how would we get there? So let us know in the comments below. This week is the last week for regular subs, for regular hosts for August. The next couple of weeks will be the subs, and I will see you in September. So thanks so much, and take care.